Hi, in this lecture, we're going to look at how to automate the process of generating request tickets. And the source of this case comes from the book that I list here. The help desk agents, they usually generate and update support tickets based on information from different channels, including phone, email, and spreadsheets. And the support tickets are usually the requests that people raise to get certain issues resolved. For example, account setup, internet access, and so on. So in this project, we will imagine that we are the help desk agent and we have a lot of data to process, right? We need to generate many request tickets, and we want to automate this process of generating request ticket. So in this project, once we invoke the bot will automatically read the data from Excel, which stores the data of the request tickets, and then the bot will create this request ticket on website. So this is what we will do in this project. So our learning objectives, the main one is that we are going to learn the concept of attended RPA. And I will have a separate lecture on the difference between attended RPA and unattended RPA. So the main difference is that between attended and unattended RPA is that in attended RPA, the bot needs human attention or human moderation to run. So in our case, we are going to use a hotkey trigger. So the bot will not run unless you press some hotkey. So in this case, we are creating the attended RPA. And we will also review Excel automation, web automation, as well as using the invoke workflow to manage different workflows in the same project. And we will also review how to use try and catch to capture any potential exceptions. So for the technical requirements, similar to what we did in the CRM automation, we need a Chrome browser, and you need to sign up for free at this website of Zoho Desk. So this is a website where we can generate the request tickets. And you also need to have Microsoft Excel installed. So this is a process flowchart of the project. So imagine we are the agent, right? And then we have the bot. And now you run the bot, but the automation will not happen unless you trigger it. So we have this user action start. So this is going to be some kind of hotkey trigger. And then once the user send that hotkey, the automation will be triggered. And once the bot is activated, it will then check whether the request file, the Excel file, is available in some folder. And that folder is called request. And if that Excel file exists, it will then extract the data from that file. So the data to be extracted include the name, email, and the subject, which means the topic of the request. And then the bot will go to Zoho and create the request ticket based on the data. And after the ticket is created, the bot will move the request file, the Excel file, right, from the request folder to another folder called process. And then it will prompt the user that the request is processed, and the user can send another hotkey to trigger another automation. And if the user does not send another hotkey, the automation will not go on. But the bot is actually still working. And to stop the whole process, the user needs to manually click on the stop button on the bot. So it may seem a little bit abstract for you now, but at the end of the process, you will grasp the idea here. So if we look at more details about the project, so in this project, we will actually have 3 workflows. So the main workflow is like what we use to trigger the automation and orchestrate other activities, including reading the data from Excel and creating the request ticket from Zoho. So when we have different when we have different workflows, as we learned before, we are going to use arguments to get data, right? To transmit data between different workflows. So here, similarly, we are going to use arguments. So when the main workflow is triggered, it will send the path of the request file to the second workflow, which will then use that path and read data from that file. And the second workflow will send the data of name, email and subject to the main workflow. And the main workflow will further trigger the third workflow, which will use that data via arguments to create request ticket on Zoho. And after the ticket is created, the third workflow will send a Boolean variable of whether or not the creation of the ticket is successful. And then the main workflow will stop there. Okay, so when you create a new project, you need to use the template named trigger-based attended automation. So make sure that you choose this option. Okay, so because here we are learning the attended automation, and this one provides a good template of how to do that. Okay, so make sure that you use this. And then you can name your project as Help Desk Agent Automation. And then you can go to your project folder and create two folders named Processed and Requests. So in the Requests folder, we are going to put the request file where the data is, the data to create the request tickets is stored. And at the end of the process, the bot will move the processed file to the processed folder. And you need to create an Excel file named request.xlsx and create a spreadsheet with 3 rows and 2 columns as shown in this screenshot. So here you notice that the field names are stored in the first column and the values are stored in the second column. This is slightly different from our previous projects where we store the field name in the first row and the values in other rows. So here this is slightly different. Okay, and then we need to register our account at Zoho. So if you go to deskzoho.com, you will see this window, and you click Try Zoho Desk, and you can register using your email. And then you can click Get Started, and you will see the homepage as this. So you will see that they have a template ticket for you as number 101. And we will go from here to create new tickets. So this is all the preparation that you need to do before we start the nitty-gritty work of bot configuration.